Hello, guys. Hello. All right, look, I gave this platform that I was going live in. I gave it a chance. I don't know. I might give it one more chance. I don't know. I'll think about it. But every time I get on there, I have issues. So, look, sometimes you just gotta try stuff, and then if it don't work, move on. But I'm so happy to be here, so happy to be on and connected. I was just telling you guys I was having a day. You know, sometimes we just have a day, but just knowing that I'm coming on and I'm talking to you guys and I'm giving you some information, and the responses, the people coming to me saying, hey, I caught your live, I saw your videos, I saw your reels, and they're just saying all this stuff that they saw, and they're ready. They're like, what's going on? What's going to be next? You got our attention. What's going on? So since I got your attention, I'm going to tell you what's going on. So I was saying before, I hope you got fasted, because 25-day fast. It was an I am worthy of credit challenge with optional fast. I hope you chose the option to fast, because when you put a fast on top of anything that you're doing, I'm telling you, the power that comes from it, the transformation in your mind that comes from it, the excitement that comes from it, knowing that God is with you and he's showing you things and he's giving you ideas and he's doing what he do, being God the Father, you know, loving on his children. It is such an exciting experience. I'm telling you, if you're not fasting, if you're not pushing the plate away, just 1, 2, or 3 plates out of the way and spending that time meditating and getting to know our God and getting into his word so that he can illuminate his word in your life. He will tell you exactly what's going on. And if you can't hear him clearly, guess what he'll do? He will show you. So once he show you, this the part, you better believe it. That's the thing. We talk ourselves out of what God is showing us. But anyway, that's a story and a testimony and a preaching for another time. That's not why I'm here today. Why I'm here today is to give you guys some information regarding what's going on. So if you were with me during this 25-day challenge, we went through a lot. We did. I hope you had your notebooks, right? We talked about how credit is not the start, it's not the ending point. Everybody's like, gotta fix my credit so I can buy a house. Gotta fix my credit so I can buy a house. Or buy whatever I want to buy. But that's not it. That's not it. And that's what's surprising a lot of people. They think that's it. You fix my credit and everything's great. No, right? Ownership and legacy is where we're going now. Ownership and legacy is the point that you want to be, right? That's where we're going. So over the past several weeks, we have talked about credit, money, habits that we had, identity, preparation. That was the big word, right? Preparing. We talked about preparation. We talked about protection. We talked about faith. We had Miss Gail come out with Legal Shield. She was telling us about protection and how we need to protect the things that God is blessing us with. And, we have to make sure that everything is legally sound, and ways that we could protect ourselves using the law, right? And then we talked with Sonny. He talked about getting mortgage ready. He's told us exactly what we needed to send to your mortgage lender and say, here's everything. Here's my paperwork. Here's what's in my bank account. Here's what my credit says. Here's all these things. Here's my budget. All these things that he said, make sure you have these things. And it was such easy, quick things. It wasn't hard at all. He said, you give me these things, you are going to be qualified for a mortgage, you guys. So that was exciting. If you didn't see that, make sure you go back and you watch that video where I interviewed Sonny really quick. It was amazing. Very compact, packed in there, but good information. And then we're supposed to get on with my good friend, the credit expert, Miss Deborah, was supposed to come on, but we had a problem with our scheduling and things were going on. Busy. We all got busy stuff going on. So it's very, not challenging, but it's an orchestra trying to get these people to come on and talk to you guys. It's not like cut and dry. It takes work. But I love you. I love you guys. So I do it, right? I do it for you. Do it for you. And so she was supposed to come on mixed up with the schedules. So guess what? She's coming on Saturday at 1:00. She is the guru of credit. She's been doing it for over 10 years. She can just break down anything you need to get your credit improved. She could tell you exactly what you need. We got the system for you, and we're going to tell you a little bit more about that. But yeah, you got to come on Saturday at 1:00, and I'm going to give you some more information about that. But tonight, I'm going to show you how someone can begin to prepare for home ownership, right? That's what we want to do. We want to prepare for home ownership in 3, 6, 9, 12 months. You've been saying for so long, I want to buy a house. I want to own a house. Like, I know you've been saying it because you've been telling me, right? I want to buy a house. God promised me I was going to be a homeowner, and God said I was going to buy a house. Well, guess what? If he said that, then he sent me to talk to you to tell you exactly what you need to do to prepare for that. Are you ready? Are you ready? Are you sure you're ready? Because, it's time. It's time. We've been waiting long enough, and now is the time to get ready. Preparation is the magic word. Let me just share this with some people. Yeah, preparation is the word. Preparation is the key. And all through the Bible, there was preparation, right? All through the Bible. So this is not new. I'm not telling anyone anything new. You already know this, right? But I'm talking to those people that know this. But guess what? You got the kids. You got the spouse. You got the job. You got everything is pulling you in every direction. You don't even have time to focus on yourself, focus on the things that's needed to get this house, right? You're busy. You're tired. And then you got the news and the people in the world telling you all this negative stuff. We are not going to go there, okay? We're going to stay focused on what we are directing our energy to, and that's becoming homeowners. And for those of you who want to go a little further, becoming investors, in buying property and investing in property and being a landlord and all those things, that's the journey, right? But I understand, I get it. You got the kids, you got the job, you got the spouse, you got the in-laws, you got the mom, the dad, the cousin, right? All this stuff going on, all these voices in your head telling you all this stuff, you're stressed and you're trying to figure out, well, where do I start and what do I do? I'm not sure. You might know what to do, but sometimes you need that little extra. You need that little extra person to tug to say, hey, I'm here to help you. Let me guide you. Let me show you. Let me explain things to you. The things that a lot of people are not doing, right? They say words that go over your head. You think you understand, but you really don't. And then you get to the point where you think you're ready, and they say, no, you're not ready because you don't have this. And then you're like, nobody told me. Nobody told me. Well, guess what? I'm about to tell you. And I'm going to give you an amazing opportunity. Towards the end of this, I'm giving you an amazing opportunity to work with me or have me work with you on getting to the next level, because that's what we're about, right? We're trying to get to the next level. Stay to the end, grab something to drink. Right? We're going to get into it. First, we're going to pray. Father God, I thank you for the opportunity to come before my Facebook family and all my family here on social media. I thank you for them. I'm truly in gratitude for all those who are hearing my voice. Give us the courage. Give us the wisdom tonight. Give us discipline. Prepare us for what you have for us, oh God. The things we've been praying and asking for. Show each person the next step for their household, for their home, for their journey, for their legacy. Give them the vision and make it plain, Father, so they can write it down, and we will work with them to run with the vision and see it to the end. We just thank you, Father, and we surrender our time to you in the name of Jesus. Amen. So look, I am so excited, but before we continue, let's just say one thing. This is a safe space and a no judgment zone. I am not here to judge you on your credit, your money, where you are in the journey. Did you start? Did you not start? I'm not here to beat anybody down. I'm not here to judge you or talk about you or any of those things. So we're going to get that out of the way first, right? We're not here about comparison. Don't compare yourself to what the other person is doing or not doing. We're just providing education, encouragement, accountability, and we're going to cover it with prayer, right? We're going to pray about it, and you're going to get some practical resources. So when I started the I Am Worthy of Credit Challenge, some people thought we were just going to talk about credit, right? We were just going to talk about scores and getting you to improve your scores. But we discovered that credit is only one part of the story. And it's very small. It's one part of the story. So credit reveals a pattern, and it reveals, how your accounts work. It could reveal a lot of different things about your finances, but a credit report did not measure your worth, right? We got that off the table. It doesn't say what you're worthy of, what you should have. Let me tell you, I'm going to tell you, these professionals be talking about you. Yeah, they don't want to work with people with bad credit, right? They don't want to work with you. They think, they should know how to handle their finances. They should, I'm not here to judge. I'm not going to say what you shoulda, coulda, woulda, did. Because I even told you with my own credit, the up and down, because of different things that was going on in my life. I knew every situation, every traumatic situation, every drama, everything that was going on in my life that caused credit issues, right? And I know, because I know this, I understand. But we got some people, either they don't understand or they ain't never been there. Your girl, she been there, okay? So I get you. I understand, okay? But yeah, a lot of people, they don't get it. They don't get it. They think it's about your you don't want to, you don't want to fix your credit. You should know better and all this. I'm like, oh my gosh, right? So we found out that your credit score, it doesn't know how you pray at night. It doesn't know how you survive. Some of us are survivors. Some of us have gone through some terrible things. Some of us have overcome many obstacles, and we're still building, and we're getting ourselves out of social situations, emotional situations, and like finances, like, okay, now I can focus on that. So we understand here in this community, we get it. We understand. So during the challenge, we talked through all the 5 P's. We talked about preparation. We talked about perspective, principles, practice, protection, engagement. We talked about all of that stuff, all the P's. Y'all remember the P's? If y'all don't remember the P's, go back and look at the video. And then I'm going to house all these videos in my school community so you can go back and review them, right? So we're talking about worthy before ready. So a lot of people, they don't need more time. They don't need more time. They just need direction. They need someone who cares. Like, I get it, right? Sometimes it feels like nobody cares. Half the people, they don't care. And the other half, they waiting for you to fail. You're in between, right? Trying to figure out, like, what do I do? Who do I talk to? Who understands this journey that I'm on, right? I get it. And sometimes you need somebody to just encourage you and tell you that you can do it, right? Sometimes you need, I know David encouraged himself, and David was amazing in the Bible. He found a way to encourage himself in the Lord, and that's a great attribute. But some of us need that extra push of encouragement. Like I said, you got the kids, you got the spouse, you got the in-laws, you got the mom, the dad, the cousin, the brother, the sister, all the friends, the frenemies, and all these things going on. And it's hard to get encouragement when you're trying to tackle something as big as ownership, something as big as buying a home or buying properties. It's big, and you need someone who cares as you go through the process. So let me tell you, with real estate, in law, and any of those things, if you're finding a lawyer, you're finding a realtor, you're finding someone to take care of your house, you're finding someone to do your insurance, find someone that you're comfortable working with. And don't think that you had to work with somebody that was referred to you. You interview the people, you talk to them, you pray about them, you listen to the things they say and listen to what they don't say. How do they treat you? All those things matter, because it'll make you feel confident and comfortable with working with them. So keep that in mind, especially I spoke with someone who would say, I had Legal Shield, or I had a lawyer, and they did this and that, and I wasn't happy with it. So guess what? Look, what do you do when you buy something you're not happy with? Take it back. Get another one, right? You don't have to stay with the one thing, the one person, the one anything. One thing I like that God gave us is options. I love options, right? So we want to have options. We want to have the ability to choose. That is the first foundation of freedom, that God has given us. He said, choose ye this day who you're going to serve. So even God doesn't force us to serve him. So if he doesn't force us to serve him, we don't have to be forced into anything. We have options. We have choices. So if ownership is your choice, I'm here to tell you how to get to that journey. So we're going to talk about a little bit about mortgage readiness, right? Because that is the name of the game. You're getting ready for the mortgage. What does that really mean? How you determine if you're ready for a mortgage? We went through the 25-day fast. We went through, seeking God to find out how we're going to fit into this journey. He's going to help us and empower us. So first you got to understand, what is mortgage readiness? What does that mean, right? So when you hear the words, what does that mean to you? For most people, they think it's just your credit score. Oh, my credit. Yeah, I'm a 620, right? If I could only get to 680, if I could get to 680, right? If I could get to 7, then I'll be ready. If I could get to 7, I'll be ready. That's the conversation that most people are having in their mind. But here is what I need you to understand. A credit score can be important without being the entire decision. So your score may influence your available loan options, pricing, and interest rate, but mortgage insurance costs, even how a lender evaluates your risk, those are the things that your score does. But mortgage readiness is not determined by just one number, right? It's determined by your entire financial future. And when we talk about the financial future and your financial picture, there's an image of what you should look like or aim to look like if you want to go into ownership, right? So say one buyer has a 720 credit score, but most of their credit cards are near the limit. Their monthly debt payments are high. All those things. Think about it. They recently opened several accounts. They have very little money saved. Those are red flags that these these mortgage companies look for. But on top of that, here at the Worthy ecosystem, which I'm going to tell you more about later, is more than looking good for somebody else. Okay? You want to look good for you. You want your picture to look good, period. You want people just, trying to get you as a customer because your picture looks so good, right? So buyer number 2, their picture looks good. They have maybe their credit score is not 800, 720, 750, 600, 680 or whatever. And they might have some credit challenges, but guess what? They have stable work history, right? Stable and documentable, come on, work history. They work, okay? And they can show that they work. They can show that they pay taxes, right? Their debts are manageable. They don't have debts all over the place. All their bills are paid and paid on time. They got a little money saved up. So you see the difference? So there's a difference between running to improve your credit and just making your whole picture look good. Because guess what? Buyer number 2 might get approved faster than buyer number 1 with the great credit, right? So that decision belongs to the lender, and that depends on the different loan products that they have and all of that. But here we want our picture to look good. We want to show up looking good and being confident and knowing that whatever we present to any lender, we don't want, the B and C and D lender. We want the A, top of the line lender that can give us a great product at a wonderful interest rate, right? So I'm showing you this because that's what we're doing here at the Worthy Ecosystem, right? Right? So you ask the question, can you qualify? Can you qualify? If you qualify, that means that you have good credit history, qualifying income, employment, debt obligations is not too much, right? You have assets maybe, your documentation is there and you hand it in on time, right? And then you got to think about what type of loan are you getting? And then what kind of property, what area? So all these things are all gathered together into the question of, can you qualify? So it's not a cut and dry. It's something that you discuss with your realtor, your lender. Here in the Worthy Ecosystem, you'll be able to come in and ask your questions and get clarity before you even talk to anybody, so that you can start that journey to being where you need to be ahead of time, right? So then you talk about, can I afford this? Can I afford this? So you want to look and, not just, okay, I'm going to tell you something. I'm going to tell you about this word you probably heard about, okay? So you see these people in these wonderful big houses and they're beautiful. But let me tell you, there's a word out there that they call some people, and you don't want to be called this. It's called house poor. So it's like you got the beautiful house, but all your money is going toward the house. That's it. All your money is being spent living in this house. So you want to know, can I afford to live here, right? So the lender is going to determine the amount of money they are willing to give you. But you don't want to start scrambling for money all over the place just to qualify, because when you do that and then you go back to regular life, you still got that mortgage that they qualified you for. So you want to make sure that you're comfortable with what they said that you qualify for. So when you think about that, there's some things that the lender is not taking into consideration that you need to take into consideration, right? Child care, medication, transportation, supporting your family. Maybe you have your mom that you take care of, your dad that lives with you and you take care of them. You got tuition to pay. You got, commitments with your church, your ministry, right? You have travel. You want to travel. You want to go places. You got vacation coming up, groceries. Come on, somebody. Girl, have you been to the grocery? Y'all see how much food costs? Food is expensive, right? Your retirement savings and all this, the lifestyle that you want to have. So for some people, the spending for a home at the top of their budget doesn't bother them because they spend most of their time at home. But for some of us who like to travel, we like to entertain and have, go out and stuff like that, that's something you might want to consider when you're like, oh, how much can I afford? This house is beautiful, but can I afford it? And then this is my favorite, right? Because they say foreclosure is at an all-time high. That's what they're saying, right? Can you sustain ownership? So you don't want to get into something to lose it later on. And I'm not saying that to scare you. I'm saying that to get serious about your preparation. Because look, if God brought you to it, he's going to bring you through it, right? But we want to show that we are prepared for this wonderful blessing that's come. This blessing that's going to be a part of our legacy. It's going to be passed down to our children. It's property and land that's going to stay within our family line. It's a home that we're going to have our entertainment, invite people over, have our memories. So it's a wonderful, wonderful investment for those of us who work from home. You could start a business in your home, like all these wonderful attributes, but you want to make sure you can sustain it. You can sustain ownership, and that's what the worthy ecosystem helps you to realize and walk you through the journey. So we're here with you for the long haul, okay? To walk you through that. So can you maintain the home? Can you repair the home when something breaks, right? Utility is going to go up. You got a bigger space, maybe. Utility is going to cost more. Property tax. Hello, property tax. Insurance. Maybe you got an HOA, homeowners association fee, right? Maybe the appliances need to be replaced. Those are things, those are conversations that we're going to have with you within the community to make sure that you're thinking about these things in advance, right? Like for those people, I'm thinking about people who have had, what do you call it? Premarital counseling, right? So it's like home ownership counseling, making sure that you're prepared for what is coming. So we're going to tell you the good, the bad, the ugly, whereas people who want you to buy, they just going to tell you the good. They want to tell you, yes to everything to get you to the finish line, cross you over the finish line. Then it's like, see ya, now you're on your own. And you're like, oh, but what about this? And what about that? And yeah. So that's why we're here. That's why the worthy ecosystem is here, to have that community where you could bring those questions, you can get suggestions, and we're going to have all kinds, and I'm going to tell you more, but all kinds of people within the real estate industry there to answer questions for you, to work with you, to get you in a place where you are comfortable with ownership and you can sustain your ownership, right? That's what we want. That's what we want. So, those are some of the things that you're going to look for and you're going to have, and we're going to break it down. I'm going to have videos inside the school, my school platform, that's going to break down each and every qualifying question to the very bone. We're going to break it down so you understand completely what they're saying when you ask those qualifying questions. And one thing you got to make sure when you're going into ownership is do not damage your readiness while you're preparing. Don't damage it, right? We a lot of times when we prepare for something and we get started, we get excited, we get rolling with it, and we're thinking that we're on a good path, and then we do something, right? Mortgage readiness is not only about what you do to prepare, it's also about what you avoid doing without guidance, right? Sometimes you need somebody to guide you through this process. So when you're preparing for or actively going through the mortgage process, do not make major financial changes without first speaking to a lender. Find out if this is major. Can I do this, right? So don't open new credit accounts. Don't close established accounts, right? Don't finance furniture. Okay? I know I've been saying this over and over. I can't say it harder, right? If you have a co-signer or someone else, make sure they know what to do and what not to do. Also, you have to school them just as much as you know. Like, hey, don't buy any furniture. We're getting ready to sign for this house. Don't buy a car. Like, don't do those things. Don't run up your credit card balances. Don't switch jobs unless you're in the same industry. But don't switch jobs. Stay where you are until after the closing because you got qualified because of the job you had, right? So make sure you don't do those things. Large deposits that you cannot document, right? Like, where did this money come from? They're looking at your bank accounts. They're looking at everything. And don't be intimidated or shy or hiding. It's the age of technology. They can find out everything. So they're going to ask you for a lot of documents. Give them the documents, right? This is not a time to hide anything because they're giving you hundreds of thousands of dollars. They're going to ask you for documentation for different things. Okay, so don't be embarrassed. Don't feel, like you're being violated and, they're looking all through your finances. This is not a time to get skimmish about your finances. When you're buying a house and you're getting a mortgage, they're going to look at things. They're going to look at a lot, all right? So don't feel ashamed. Don't feel embarrassed. Show them everything. And that is what we do in the Worthy ecosystem, is prepare you emotionally, socially. It's a big deal buying a house. It's an exciting time, and you want to keep that charge and keep that energy and keep that confidence and that boldness when they come and they ask for things. And you're not going to feel, like I'm being violated and they want to know so much, right? Because people get very, very protective of their financial information, but during the time of buying a house, it's not that time, okay? So I just wanted to make sure I tell you that, right? What else I want to tell you? So in 3, 6, 9, or 12 months, right? 3, 6, 9, or 12 months, you're going to have the full picture. We can start to identify your possible preparation timeline just by looking at your finances and what you're doing and how you're preparing. So in the 3 months, you start to organize your documents. You start to have a budget, right? Confirm that budget. Make that budget really workable, and you protect your credit profile. Increase available funds. And you start talking to people lenders that can qualify you for a loan. Doesn't mean you have to commit. They could do a soft pull on your credit, and just start talking to people that you're comfortable with. Find out about the different loan products, right? Understand assistance that's out there, down payment assistance, points buy down, and all those things that are available to make your when you're going to the table, your I went blank. Your deposit, make it comfortable for you, right? What you're bringing to the table, making sure that you have enough money at closing to secure the loan and to get your keys. Sometimes you don't have to bring anything, but it just depends on what kind of product you have, loan product. In 6 months, if you are 6 months out, you want to start reducing your revolving balance, start paying some things off. You want to strengthen your payment consistency, paying stuff off every month, making sure you pay your bills on time. You want to correct stuff on your credit report. Is your address correct? Is your name spelled right? Who's looking for you? Do you recognize that thing on your credit report? You want to start diving deep into your credit report and make sure it looks clean and your profile looks good. You start building up your savings account. Stabilize employment. Remember that. Make sure that you're not trying to, go to another job. Strategically pay down debt. So you want to make sure you're not paying all over the place. You want to pay exactly what you need to pay in order to get you to the closing table. And you're just creating a stronger monthly spending plan. And we're going to help you with all of that inside the ecosystem. So if you want to work with me, I will walk you through that process. I will hold your hand, because sometimes you just need somebody to hold your hand, right? It's okay. And it's a big deal. Buying a house is a big deal. So what? You want somebody to hold your hand. We're going to get you somebody to hold your hand, okay? If you're 9 months out, if you're like, you know what, I think I'm going to be ready in 9 months. You want to be resolving multiple financial concerns. So that means you got a few things that you got to address, right? You're going to establish a reliable savings pattern. That means you're saving every week or every month a certain amount, right, to get you to that savings account that you want. You're going to reduce your monthly obligations, and you're going to create a larger emergency fund. Those are the things that you're going to do if you're 9 months out. Rebuilding, you're maybe rebuilding after a major financial disruption. That's the things that make our credit go up and down. We had a major situation that caused a disruption in our finances, and now we're rebuilding. So that's 9 months out. Or you're preparing for a complete cost of ownership. Like, you just want to make sure you have everything you need beforehand to be a homeowner. And we're going to dive deep into that, exactly what you're going to need, from insurance to HOA and all these other things that you want to prepare yourself for when you move in. Maybe furniture, maybe appliances, maybe, things, moving to a new neighborhood. What are you going to need? So all those things, all those conversations that people are not telling you, we're going to talk about it in the community. We're going to share it with you to get your mind in the right space of, okay, I'm an owner. What do I need to do, and how do I need to think, right? If your plan is 12 months out or longer, I am still your gal. I will still be with you. I'm not going to leave you hanging, okay? You're still going to have, maybe you're recovering from a job loss, a divorce, bankruptcy, foreclosure, any financial major event. Maybe you're recovering from it, and you're like, you know what? I need time out to prepare myself, but I'm still going to be a homeowner. So then maybe you're rebuilding your credit history, increasing or stabilizing your income. Maybe you need another job, or maybe you have a side hustle to help you to get the income that you need to get yourself out of your financial deficit, right? Maybe you're establishing your reserves and you want to make sure you have enough, or correcting long-standing financial habits. That part we're going to dive deep into, because some of our habits are just what's preventing us from saving and paying off debt. Is the habits that we have, and we're not developing the habits we need to get us to the next level, right? Or you're creating a whole new home ownership strategy, and you're like, you know what? On this strategy, I know it's going to take me about a year or a year and a half or 2 years to get to where I want to be. Guess what? We're going to stay with you, all right, through the whole journey, right? There's no shame. There's no needing more time. It's okay to need more time. It's all right. In this life, it's like, hurry up. And then we get into something like, oh my God, how did I get into this? And that's when the blessing becomes a curse, because you're not ready, you're not prepared. So longer does not mean never, right? A pause is not a denial. And sometimes a pause is to protect ourselves. We got to say, hold on. This is too fast. I need to take a pause so that I could develop and create some protection over what I'm building. And sometimes the wisest answer is not yet, but here's what we will do next. You just want the next. What do I do next? I have this. I need all of this. What do I do next? And that's what we're here to do. Help you through that process, right? So now that you understand what really determines mortgage readiness, I'm going to show you that what this could look like in real life, right? All right. So Throughout the whole system, we were talking about different things: identity, stewardship, reputation, ownership, legacy. Five categories, right? Identity, stewardship, reputation, and ownership. 5 categories. And so, and legacy. So that's the foundation. That's the foundation that you're going to stand on, because you got to know who you are, right? The foundation shapes you as a person. And that, I think, makes us a little bit different from a lot of these other organizations that's out there that's just really just trying to get money from you, trying to just push you ahead, push you faster than you really need to go. You have to develop into the person who can handle what's coming, right? You want to be able to hold up what God is giving you. So there's a scorecard that helps you organize the plan. So we could score you through the whole process of identity, stewardship, credit, debt to income, savings, all of those things that's a part of the process. So when I said a real life agenda, a real life scenario, let's take Robert, right? So Robert is 39 years old and raising children on his own, and he's been renting for some time, right? For about 4 years. And he dreamed of owning a home for his children, right? He wants his children to play outside, feel settled down. So his approximate gross monthly income, so income before taxes and anything is taken out, is $4,833, right? He currently has $475 in a monthly car payment, $120 going towards his student loan, $160 is going toward credit card payments, right? 2 credit cards with high balances, a collection account that he does not fully understand, and approximately $1,500 in savings. So he pays most of his bills on time, but he does not have a written spending plan. Got to write things down, you guys. So he checks his bank balance and decides what he's gonna spend, and he never calculates her debt to income ratio. So these are things that are habits and things that us on a regular everyday don't think about, right? Because we're busy, remember, with the kids and the mom and the dad and the spouse and the job and all this stuff is going on. We don't think to do these things, but these are little habits that don't even take long, that we could show you how to do it every day to help you to develop the habits that you need to get to ownership level. So she didn't calculate. She don't know how much money she need for the complete whole buying process. He has no clue, right? He heard about the FHA loans, but he's not really clear about that. He hasn't spoken to any lenders. And then he says to himself, my credit is good enough, right? My credit isn't good enough. I don't have enough saved. I'm years and years away. I need to fix everything before I talk to anyone, right? He wants to get perfect before he even have a conversation, and he's thinking 3 months, 6 months, 9 months, 12 months, right? What do you think he's thinking? We cannot responsibly answer that question yet because we don't know what he's thinking. We don't know his complete credit information. He's just guessing. He's just saying it isn't good enough. What's good enough? Like, how do you know? Right? He hasn't verified his income, right? No one has talked to him about that. He hasn't reviewed loan options. He doesn't know what's available out there. He doesn't know how much houses cost, right? There might be something affordable that he can get for him and his children, right? He hasn't calculated his official debt to income ratio, talking to a lender to find out what that is. The lender hasn't reviewed the documentation. So much has not taken place, but yet he's like, Oh, I know I don't qualify. I know I'm not going to get a loan. I know my credit is not good. My credit is bad. He's making this determination and he hasn't even checked on any of that. So that is what the community is going to do. We're going to check for you. We're going to ask these questions. We're going to look at your whole picture, and your picture may be beautiful, just a little blurry. We just need to make it a little clearer so that your lender can see exactly what's going on. And before your lender, come on, you need to see what's going on in your own finances. Give yourself that credit, right? Love on yourself enough to say, let me see what's going on in my own finances. I want somebody to tell me what's going on in my finances. Right? And then you're going to have a scorecard. We're going to score you based on what we see, right? Identity. The first thing Robert needs is to determine who he is, right? He needs to have a clear reasons of why he wants the house, right? Is he motivated? Can he remain employed? Right? Those are all the things that we're going to try to find out ahead of time to see where the mindset is, the identity, how Robert sees himself first, right? Will he remain employed? Will he start saving? Those are his strengths. Before we even talk about anything else, we got to get rid of the things that he says about himself. I'll never qualify. I'm bad with money. I can't do this. My credit is terrible, right? We have to change that language. So identity is so important. After that, we're going to do stewardship, right? We're going to find out, does he know exactly how much he's spending on food, transportation, subscriptions, convenient purchases, right? Family support. A lot of us are taking care of other people. And we don't even know where that money is going or how it's going, and calculating how much it is per month. Children activities. These kids want to be in sports. They want to go places. They want to be entertained. Somebody told me how much a video game costs. I couldn't believe it, right? But these kids, we want to get these kids these games. So we need to see what his financial picture is looking like after we ask these questions, okay? Because the lender and the people trying to make you get into a house, they're not looking at your full financial picture. So that's why when you get in a house, you're like, oh my goodness, how am I going to handle this and all these other things that I have going on, right? We're going to make sure you look at it and be honest with yourself. That's stewardship. That is stewardship. Handling the blessing that God has already given you. You already got some income. He's giving you money. Now we're showing God that I can handle what you're giving me. I can take this to the next level, right? So then there's credit. That's when we talk about credit. And then we have an optional program within the ecosystem that will help you clean your credit. We're going to look deep into your credit to see what is going on, what errors are there, just taking a deep dive into what your credit is showing, what your report is showing the world. We want to make sure that it's showing what's accurate. So that's an additional program that you could get into within the ecosystem to help you combat both sides, right? Finances and then credit, right? So we're going to look at the credit report. Is the identity information correct, right? Is everything on there yours, right? We're going to review each account. We're going to confirm those balances. Understand which accounts contribute to your monthly obligations. Which accounts is going to be viewed or considered for your loan product. What do they care about? We're going to tell you that, right? And we're going to create an individual action plan, because everybody's situation is not the same. It's not cookie cutter. Well, what one person need, you might not need that. Or what you need, the other person doesn't need that. So everyone in the ecosystem is going to get an individualized action plan to get them ready. Then we're going to talk about debt to income ratio. What does that mean? How do they determine the percentage? We're going to have a class and we're going to show you exactly how to calculate that and exactly where you fit in debt to income ratio. And each lending product and each mortgage lender have a different percentage that they want, so we're going to determine that for you. So we're going to do a lot. Look, when you leave here, you're going to be set, okay? You're going to be really ready. But beyond credit ready and beyond mortgage ready, you individually, I want you to be proud of who you become in this program. You become someone that is serious about their finances. You become someone that is determined to steward the way God wants us to steward. You become someone that know that you're worthy of the blessings that God has given you. You're worthy of improving your finances. You are worthy, right? And you are going to show it. You're going to feel it. All of that, right? And then we're going to talk about savings. We got to save. So Robert needed to save. He did have $1,500. That's a great thing. He had $1,500. That's amazing. But we still want him to improve on that savings and show him ways that he could make the budget workable so he could save more money, right? And then there's ways that we could talk about cash flow. We could talk about, how to, get a business on the side started. All of those things, I'm telling you, right? So there's a lot of things that goes into preparing for the house. You're going to need money. Maybe you're going to need earnest money. What is that? How much do I need? We're going to talk about that. Inspection. How much does an inspection cost? We're going to break that down. Appraisals, right? FHA people. Down payment, closing costs, prepaid taxes and insurance, moving. Did y'all think about that? Moving is expensive. Unless you got your friend with the pickup truck that's going to move you and y'all going to go back and forth 20 times. Maybe that's your strategy. But if not, like a gal like me, I don't want to lift anything. So I want the movers, the truck, everything. You just move everything, right? I'm graduating to, hey, pack everything up too. That's going to be the next step. Pack it up and move it, right? And I'll stay in the hotel and call me when you're done. Come on, somebody. But those are things that we got to talk about. Utility setup, immediate purchases or repairs, financial reserves. So all those things will be discussed inside the community to help you get your mind right about this process. And I'm not telling you any of these things to scare you or to make you think that you're not going to be able to do it. That is not the purpose of this. The purpose of this is to be bold and brave and look directly in the eye of what you need to do and get it done. And the community is there to support you, to encourage you, to cheer you on and celebrate wins and, help you to get to that finish line, right? So, and then after that is the home ownership, right? You need to know about just being a homeowner. What does it mean to be a homeowner? What does that, entail? What am I responsible for? What is this thing that I'm now responsible for? So all of those things are going to happen inside of the community, and we're going to put it all in order for you. We're going to walk you through the whole process and put it in order for you, right? We're going to give you an action plan of clarity, stabilization, strength, all the things that makes you mortgage ready. You want clarity. Am I clear on exactly what I need to do? We want to get stable. We want to start gathering all these pieces together to make sure that you're standing on a stable foundation. And then after the stabilization, now you're strong. You're ready to go out there and you're ready to conquer all in the real estate industry. Everything they bring and throw at you, you got to answer for it. And that's where we're going to get you. So based on the information, we think that Robert was about 9 months out, right? That's not a promise, but we're calculating if Robert did everything that we tell him to do, he'd be about 9 months out based on everything that we saw in his finances, in his habits, in his mindset. Come on, right? So month 1 to 3 would be about clarity, stabilization, documentation, credit, education, budgeting, and initial professional review, right? Month 4 through 6, we're going to talk about debt and savings, maintaining consistent payment history. We're going to keep financial records organized for him, and we're going to practice living within anticipated ownership budget. So we want to live within the budget before we get the house, right? And we're going to avoid unnecessary changes to the credit. At 6 months is like a checkpoint. We're going to look and see, is the budget working? The debt position, has it changed? Is the savings growing? We're going to start looking. And, let me tell you, you got to be ready for this. You got to be serious and ready for this, because we're going to ask you the hard questions, right? But hard questions make you think. It make you stronger. It prepares you. Like, we want you to go out there and be bold and be prepared and be strong, and stop having people push you around and tell you do this and do that, and we don't want to work with you, and telling you no all the time. Aren't you tired of people saying no to you all the time? So this is getting you in a place where people are going to fight for your business. They're going to fight to work with you because you are taking this seriously. And you're like, no more playing around. No more people telling me no. I'm going to come out and I'm going to be educated. I'm going to be smart, and I'm going to be ready when the opportunity falls in my lap. So that's month 6. 7 through 9, that's when we complete a formal lender readiness review, right? We're going to compare the different loan options. Now we're starting looking at different options that's available. Instead of you just taking anything and just taking what they give you, no, you're going to choose the one that fits all the hard work that you've been doing, right? You're going to explore the assistance opportunities that are available to make sure you have everything ready when you go to that closing table. And really, we want you to go to a closing table and not have to pay anything. We can even get you to that point too, depending on how you go through the program and what product is more valuable to you. Is interest rate more valuable? Is coming to the closing table with no down payment, is that more valuable? So you got to figure out what's more valuable to you. And then we're going to finalize his sustainable target payment, like what can he comfortably afford? And we're going to start evaluating properties. How about that part, right? We don't want to take any property that's out there. We want to evaluate the property. Does it fit my lifestyle? Does it fit where I want to live? Does it fit the school that I want to put my kids in? Does it fit walkability? Like, all of those things go into buying a house. And we are going to walk you through that at that stage. And then we're going to prepare for the possible pre-approval and the home search. That's the fun part. Yay! That's the part that I love, when you start going into the houses and start looking around and falling in love. But we don't fall in love with the house. We fall in love with the what? The deal. Yes, we fall in love with the deal. So we're going to love. I'll be all right. I'll be all right if you don't love me as a realtor as much as you love your mortgage lender. Love the mortgage lender that's going to give you a great deal. All right? So that's what we want you to do. We want you to fall in love with the deal, that everything is hitting all the points that you wanted to hit. But guess what? If you don't know what points need to be hit, if you don't know what fine print you should be reading and looking at, you don't know what you don't know. And you end up getting to something that you're like, how did I get here? We're trying to avoid that, right? We don't want you to go through that. So before the assessment and all the questions and all this stuff, the strength of Robert, the attention, what action came first, what should he avoid, who needs to be a part of my professional team, right? What is his next 90-day goal? That's the transformation that's going to take place, right? Robert has not received any keys, but his credit score may not have changed that much. It may not, but guess what changed? His mindset, his savings, his budget, his, debt to income ratio, all of that may have changed, even though the score didn't change. You see, right? Something else changed. He's no longer wondering what, who, where, why, right? He's not ashamed anymore. I keep saying she. He's not ashamed anymore, right? And he's willing to show information because he has education about what he's showing, right? And that's the part. That's my goal. That's what I want to see. I love seeing someone empowered, educated, ready, not being pushed around, not being given misinformation, going out there and just being ready, right? So, but before he believed, he was simply rejected. That's all he believed. Now he understands that he may be in a season of preparation. This is just preparation. That's all. And a no is not a never. It's just a not yet, not right now, right? So, that is Robert. That is a snippet of what putting your name can get if you work with me in the Worthy of Ecosystem community. That place is the Worthy of Ecosystem. Robert wanted to be in a place, and I created the place where people could discover where they are, understand what needs attention, right? Receive education and accountability, and continue moving toward ownership and legacy with knowledge, information, courage, being brave, being bold. And that's the worthy ecosystem. It's the worthy ecosystem. And in this ecosystem, oh my gosh, you're going to find so many wonderful things. We're going to have professionals come in there to guide you. We're going to have professional people in the real estate industry that are going to want to work with you, and they're not going to take advantage of you. There's just so much that's going to be in there to protect you, to guide you, to lead you, to do all the things that you need as you prepare for home ownership. And guess what? It's not just home ownership. It's not. That's just the beginning. Home ownership is the beginning. After that, we talk about multi-generational living, how to make living in your house affordable, house hacking, being a landlord, buying a duplex, living in one side, renting out the other, the BRRRR method, buying one property and fixing it up, renting it, and then repeating the process, and all of those things that you can do to make home ownership affordable, things that you could do to develop cash flow, and then things that we can do as a community to work with each other, to invest and develop partnerships, to buy back the block. Oh my gosh. Yeah, I said it, right? We could start buying property and building communities and working with people who were where you're going, who were where you were, right? Help develop them. Go back and help somebody else to get to where you are after you become an investor. Go back and help somebody else become an investor. Go back and help somebody else become a homeowner. Isn't that a wonderful ecosystem? Yes, that's the vision, you guys. But it starts with ownership, right? It starts with ownership. So I'm going to put a link at the end of this live where you can find out how to be a part of this worthy ecosystem, how you could work with me, how I can help you one-on-one in the community. I'm going to be launching this program on the 3rd of August. I'm going to keep the program open for 7 days for people to join. After 7 days, I don't care if one person join or 20 people join, I'm going to close it, and then I'm going to get started because I want everybody to start at the same place and get the same information. And so, yeah, I would hope that you would want to come. You need this. Those of you who are ready for ownership, you have to jump onto this, okay? Not only, and I'm giving you a wealth of information. I'm going to give it to you at a price that is incredible. Okay, so when you join, you're going to join, and implementation is going to start right away, right? So instead of learning, you're going to be doing. You're going to learn something and then do it, right? So we're going to have monthly membership that includes coaching calls. They're going to be live coaching calls. There's office hours where you can come in and ask your questions. Different people will be hosting the office hours. We're going to show case studies, and I'm going to put you in the hot seat. Okay? Put you in the hot seat so to see where you are in your journey. And then there's a credit readiness, what to do in what order. You got to know that. We're going to talk about DTI. We're going to give you a calculator so that you could calculate your DTI for yourself, your savings. You're going to talk about employment, income, different programs that are available, down payment assistance, right? Then you're going to have a 30-day savings challenge. We're going to see how much you can save in 30 days. There's going to be debt payoff, budget reset, and a no spend challenge. And of course, we're going to talk about emergency funds. We're going to have courses exclusive to the program about credit, budgeting, real estate, investing, business, and negotiation. That's a big one. A lot of people don't know how to negotiate. Then we're going to give you some templates. It's going to be a budget template, credit dispute tracking, mortgage checklist, savings tracker, and a financial dashboard. So we're going to load you up with tools. You have the tools to help you along the way, and we're going to show you how to use the tools. There's going to be some AI tools in there because we have some amazing AI resources and tools that we developed. The investment property analyzer for those who are ready to invest in property. And of course, like I said, the budget calculator is an AI tool as well. And then there's a community. You're going to get to come out to some of the events that I'm having. I'm having one in October. Stay tuned. There's going to be networking. We're going to celebrate wins. You're going to meet my professional people that I do business with. I'm going to introduce you to them. There's going to be accountability. I'm going to put you in groups, right? All of that. But guess what? There's more, right? You're going to get your own one-on-one personal roadmap, right? Priority coaching, private mastermind, credit review, real estate strategy. We're going to strategize for you, right? Business strategy if you need it. Business networking. Oh my goodness. Preferred lenders, preferred insurance, attorney referrals, financial planner, tax professional, exclusive events that we're going to have. All of that for the founding few that join the program now. You will be my founders, right? You'll be the first ones in this amazing program. And I'm only going to give it to you for $47. $47 for 6 weeks. All right, 6 weeks for $47. Only because, look, we're in this K economy, you guys. I am calling it the K economy intro to the worthy ecosystem. The K economy intro into the eco-worthy system, because look, this K economy is hitting different. So the K economy, you know, the economy, some people are going up and some people are going down, and it's getting very, very, very wide. Those who are making money and those who are not. Those who are staying where they are. And I am determined to get us in the uptick, right? And the first place to start is to know where you are financially. Then once you know where you are, you can know different strategies that you can take to get on that journey in the uptick. But you guys have to start somewhere. So that's why I'm starting it at $47 for 6 weeks. Come on in, get the information you need, start the journey. I'm going to put the link in the comments. I'm going to put the link in the at the end of this live. I'm going to put the link so you guys can go ahead and start joining, because look, this is serious. It is really serious. Some of us are going to really struggle, and you think we're struggling now, it's going to get worse. So we need to get to a place where we're developing something that's going to get us to the other side, or get us in that uptick in the K economy. And that's what we want to be. I'm going to put my link in the comment section. And look, you guys, I don't want to scare you. I'm not trying to scare anybody, but hey, I don't have to convince you that this is not happening. Like, I don't have to convince you that this is not going on, where people are not being able to afford things. They're not being able to buy groceries, buy medication. Like the gap between the haves and the have-nots is widening. And this is a way that we could have a tool or resource. Your home can be something that you can use as an asset to put you in the place of that uptick journey, right? So come on and join me in the worthy ecosystem, in this system. I'm here for you. I'm here to help you. We'll talk about these things. We'll have these conversations about wealth and growth and developing, and, you know, come up with strategies and ideas, because if we do everything that we're doing the same, we're going to have the same result. But guess what? The result that you're having now is going to be detrimental in the years to come. So we want to get started on this journey of developing skills, getting assets, getting the things that we need to help us to grow our income, have resources, you know, invest, and all those things that produce wealth. So I'm so happy. I'm so happy to be able to bring you this information. Join the worthy ecosystem. I put the link in the comments section. Come join me. Let's talk about this. Let's go to the next level together. It's only $47, you guys. Wealth of information is not going to stay $47. I guarantee that. The amount of people that I have coming to give you information, coming to share knowledge outweighs dramatically that $47. But I love you guys. I want you guys to get started. I want you guys to have at least the mindset to want to change. You gotta want it, right? 6 weeks, just 6 weeks. Get the information, get the strategy, get the plan in place. If you want to continue working with me, for me to guide you and hold your hand and walk with you through your 3 months, 6 months, 9 months, or 12 months, or up to 24 months of preparing for home ownership, I'm your gal. I'm with you. I'm not going to let you down. I'm not like them other folks that let you down, okay? I'm going to be with you. And you can continue, and there's different programs where you can continue to work with me. But for this one, it's just $47. Come on in for 6 weeks. It's being built out. I got amazing people that's going to bring you information. Got amazing resources and different things that you need, especially if you're in Columbus, Ohio. But the part with the credit and the business and all that stuff, that could be all over the nation. But for home ownership, that's if you want to buy in Columbus, Ohio. But I could refer you to different people if you're outside of Columbus. But yeah, this is where we're going to start, you guys. Those of you that's serious. Are you serious? Do you want this? Do you really want to own a home? Because you keep coming to me saying you want to buy a house. You want to be an owner. Well, I'm giving you the opportunity. I want to school you first. I'm not going to just push you into ownership if you're not ready. All right? So click the link in the comment section. Come join me on the other side. I'm going to be here Saturday with the amazing Miss Deborah, who's going to drop us some nuggets about credit. So come back on Saturday, 1 p.m. Eastern. You got to hear what Miss Deborah has to say. She's been in the game for a long time, and she knows what she's talking about. So, yeah, come on Saturday. I can't wait to see you. And until I see you again, have a wonderful evening, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye.